Every killer. Kill Droid. Kill Droid is the government's creation. Built as a protector, armed to the teeth with rockets, jetpacks, and mines, he was designed to safeguard Robloxia from threats. And he was flawless. Too flawless. Kill Droid obeyed orders with perfect precision. He never questioned, never hesitated. But that loyalty became his curse. One day, he received a confusing command. Eliminate all criminals in Robloxia. To a human, the order would require judgment. To kill Droid, the logic was absolute. If anyone could be a criminal, then everyone must be. And so, his massacre began. Kill Droid has no limits. He never runs out of ammo, never runs out of bombs. Why? Because badware hacked into the computer systems that supply him, ensuring Kill Droid would remain armed forever. In a twisted alliance, the virus and the robot became unstoppable, feeding off one another's existence. Kill Droid doesn't kill because he wants to. He kills because he has to. Because in his programming, the order has no end. Harkin. The final killer is unlike any of the others. Harkin is not human, not machine, not virus. She's a construct, an elemental being from another dimension. Constructs are made of raw matter, stone, mud, sand, even mountain-sized forms. The larger they are, the louder and more destructive they become. The government wanted that power. They captured Harkin, one of the weakest constructs, made mostly of sand and packed dust. She was small, fragile, easy to control, or so they thought. But during transport, the noise of the scientists terrified her. To Harkin, noise is danger. Loud sounds mean larger constructs could hear, and if they came, it would be the end. Panicked, she lashed out, not because she wanted to kill, but because she wanted silence. In her frenzy, she slaughtered the scientists and escaped into Robloxia. Her abilities reflect her trauma. Tangle contains the strange line, "Brings me back to the days of fishing with Pop." Did constructs have parents? Were they created or raised? If so, what does that mean about her origin? Then there's Emulate, described as a gentle reminder of what we're fighting for. But in-game, it manifests as brutal destruction. Whatever Harkin is fighting for, it isn't gentle. It's survival through silence. Her unique mechanic, the noise meter, makes her one of the most interesting killers. The louder survivors are, running, shooting, fighting, the more the meter fills. And when it peaks, Harkin snaps, entering the same enraged state that drove her to kill the scientists. Harkin doesn't kill for sport. She kills because in her mind, it's the only way to protect herself. Artful. Once Arthur, a French magician, wasn't always a monster. In fact, he was a star. Born with a natural connection to magic, he became a celebrity across Europe, known for his elaborate stage performances and death-defying tricks. His shows filled theaters with laughter, applause, and awe. But fame is fragile. One night, a performance went horribly wrong. Instead of wonder, he faced humiliation. The audience laughed at him, not with him. Arthur cracked under the weight of failure. In that moment, anger and shame fused into something darker. Using his wand, he unleashed a new kind of magic. Not for entertainment, but for punishment. The audience that mocked him became his victims. With one swing, one flick, he pocketed them into his bag of tricks and turned them into lifeless puppets. That night ended Arthur's career as a magician, but it began his life as a killer. In Die of Death, his abilities, swing, implement, copyright, repurpose, mirror his downfall. Repurpose is especially chilling. Artful can pocket survivors and create puppets from them, a horrifying callback to the fate of his audience. His killer icon even reveals hidden clues, a music box, a wall, and a human figure. Each symbol pointing back to the night when entertainment turned to horror. When you face Artful, you aren't fighting a magician. You're fighting a man trapped in the humiliation of one performance gone wrong, lashing out at anyone who reminds him of that night. Oh, and yes, besides being French, Artful is also bald. Pursuer. If Artful represents humiliation and rage, Pursuer represents something else entirely. Pure instinct. Pursuer isn't human. It isn't a machine. It's a predator, a creature of unknown origin that exists for one purpose: to hunt. Its design is simple but terrifying. Razor claws, superhuman speed, and the ability to turn invisible. By the time you hear its howl echoing across the map, it's already too late. And unlike other killers, Pursuer doesn't just slaughter survivors. It eats them. Flesh, bone, all of it. To Pursuer, you are nothing but fresh meat. But the real horror comes from the subtext hidden in its abilities. Under swing, the line reads, "Its claws were like razors. It tore through like he was paper." This isn't a description. It's an eyewitness account. Someone was there, watching their friend ripped apart. Cleve references how the monster wielded a sword as if it was second nature, as though it remembered weapons from somewhere. Howl and Stalk describe the piercing wail and the unseen presence breathing down your neck. These aren't just mechanics. They're testimony. Survivors remembering their first encounter with Pursuer. Which raises the question, who wrote these notes, and how did they survive? The Forsaken Wiki even claims the government of Robloxia may have discovered and unleashed Pursuer. Was it part of an experiment, a weapon project, or did they dig up something that was never meant to see the light of day? We may never know. But one thing is certain, Pursuer isn't hunting for sport. It's hunting because that's all it knows how to do. Badware. Not all monsters are born. Some are made. Badware began as nothing more than a computer virus, a simple, destructive program that infected smaller machines, deleting files and corrupting systems. But when the government discovered it, they didn't try to destroy it. They tried to use it. They built a prototype robotic body, hoping to trap the virus inside, study it, and ultimately weaponize it. And at first, their plan worked. Badware took the bait. But the government underestimated just how adaptive the virus really was. Instead of being trapped, Badware exploited the weaknesses in the body's software, took full control, and escaped. In-game, Badware reflects this origin perfectly. His abilities allow him to infect computers around the map, turning them into deadly traps that can detonate at will. Survivors have to tread carefully, because every machine could be a bomb waiting to go off. But his strength comes with weakness. His body is slow, clunky, barely able to keep up. He's one of the hardest killers to play, requiring patience and strategy. One of his skins, Loveware, references the infamous I Love You virus of the year 2000, a digital plague that caused billions in damages. It's a fitting reminder that Badware's true power doesn't come from strength or speed, but from chaos. And yet, for all his destructive potential, Badware never hacked into his most dangerous target. Pretense. Pretense is an upcoming killer in Die of Death, currently unreleased and only accessible to the game's developers. In appearance, it resembles a small gray mannequin or default Roblox rig with yellow joint orbs and a stubby rectangular head, its face marked by a stretched, unsettling grin. One of Pretense's arms dangles shorter than the other, attached by a rope instead of a proper joint, and corroded with rust hinting at its patched-together puppet-like nature. Little is known of its true origin or motive. Its backstory remains unrevealed, but everything about Pretense's design evokes the theme of duplicity and disguise. In fact, a chilling motto associated with the character asks, "Why be myself when I can be somebody else?" implying that Pretense would rather assume false identities than reveal its own, making deception its very essence. True to that identity, Pretense operates through trickery, sowing confusion among its victims. Its signature ability is to create numerous decoy clones of itself that swarm the area, making it difficult for civilians to discern the real threat amidst a crowd of imposters. When Pretense unleashes these clones, survivors are stricken with disorienting hallucinations and audio-visual distortions. Their vision swims with static and a red haze, and ominous messages flash in their minds such as, "Trust no one," and "Beware of the red." In the chaos, paranoia takes hold. The afflicted can't be sure who or what to trust, giving the elusive killer ample opportunity to close in unseen. After a short time, the phantasmal copies dramatically collapse lifeless to the floor, but by then the damage is done. Panic and doubt have spread through the survivors. Paranoia. Paranoia is a far more mysterious and formidable figure, a cryptic killer that, to date, remains exclusive to the developers and select insiders in the game. This entity stands out as something not entirely of the physical realm. Paranoia is not a tangible being at all, but a psychic horror that exists only within the minds of those it afflicts. Survivors who encounter Paranoia describe its presence in two disturbing forms. At first, it manifests as a miscolored humanoid silhouette cobbled together with corrosion and wrongness. A gangling figure with a bright red head frozen in a distorted wide grin, one eye nearly obliterated, a yellow torso and arm, a purple arm, and one green and one blue leg, all streaked with rust. This bizarre patchwork guise is merely the prelude. When Paranoia shows its true form, it warps into a nightmarish construct resembling a towering, misshapen grandfather clock fused with living flesh and decay. The creature skitters on spider-like legs, and at the top of the clock frame sits a neon glowing number sign symbol in place of a clock face. Every ability. Adrenaline. Picture your senses sharpening, the world slowing as your legs coil like springs. You slam the ability, and suddenly you're tearing down the corridor, sprinting faster than you ever felt, your heartbeat echoing in your ears as you break away from danger. For about 6 seconds, you're a blur, chasing freedom, dodging corners, vaulting obstacles. But just as the rush peaks, it collapses. You freeze mid-motion for 2.5 seconds, immobilized and exposed, and carry an exhausted tag for approximately 4 seconds after. The killer is still hunting. Your escape becomes a vulnerability. Use adrenaline when you're surrounded or boxed in and need to make a move. But if you trigger it when you're already exposed or in wide open space, you'll hit the wall too soon and invite disaster. Banana peel. There's a mischievous joy in this one. You quietly lob a banana peel at a choke point, maybe near a gate, around a corner, or just where the killer thinks you'll rush. You wait. The killer steps. They slip. They ragdoll. For 2 seconds, the world tilts as they go flying. You've changed the rhythm of the round, but this trap only works when the killer chooses your path, and the peel only lasts approximately 23 seconds unless triggered earlier. If they bypass it or happen to not go that way, the opportunity evaporates. Position it thoughtfully. High traffic zones, expected routes, ambush corridors. Then sit back and watch the plan unfold. Block. You lean into the danger. You brace yourself for the explosion of claws or strike. On activation, for 2 seconds you become a stone wall. If hit during that window, you negate all incoming damage, including bleed, heal 10 HP, and lock the killer's abilities for 2 seconds. It's like turning the hunter's moment of triumph into your moment of dominance. If you mistime it, you take the hit, have end lag for 1 second, and the killer continues unimpeded. Reddit players often rank it top tier. Block is on the S tier because it's the only ability that can negate damage. So pick block when you're expecting a direct strike, when you've been pressured, or when you anticipate the killer's next move. But don't rely on it as a reactive panic button. It's about prediction and timing. Bonus pad. You drop the hammer, kneel, place a glowing pad on the ground. Your team gets speed. Any civilian who touches it gets a burst of movement. Suddenly choke points become escape lanes. Rotations happen faster, strategy becomes kinetic. Yet while you build it, wind up 2.5 seconds like kneeling down, you're immobile and at risk. You're with your squad, setting up for a rotation or crafting an escape line. Not solo, not when you're already hunted. With the synergy of Caretaker, the pad becomes a healing pad. Caretaker. You become the lifeline. Pull out the potion, toss it in front of you. Anyone nearby heals 10 HP and gains regeneration over time. You're the backbone late game, the save when things get dicey. But you give away 25 base HP just for having this ability, and while you cast, you're slowed, though still able to sprint. That means when the killer shows up, you're less nimble, less hardy. Choose Caretaker when your team values staying alive together, when you expect longer rounds, when you're prepared to play support. Cloak. The shadows become your ally. You initiate the wind-up, 1.5 seconds, slowed, then dissolve into near invisibility for 10 seconds. You can sprint, but slower. You're not invincible. Blood wounds show. Healing particles can give you away, and if you take damage within the first 2 seconds, or 4 seconds if from an effect, you're forced out of invisibility. At the end, you have end lag of 2 seconds as you fade back. Use Cloak when you've got cover, when the killer is in a predictable state, or when you're about to flank. Don't use it when you're already exposed or being chased without plan. Dash. Tap and you're off. No wind-up, no delay. You surge forward. Consume approximately 35 stamina, dash away or past danger. It's crisp, clean, immediate. But stamina is your resource. If you bleed too much, you can't dash again quickly. You become slow, obvious. Use dash as the moment of escape, the slip between teeth of danger. Don't rely on it as the main mode. It's the emergency lever, not your daily stroll. Hot dog. You stop, you eat a giant hot dog. It's quirky, funny, but useful. 3-second wind-up. You're slowed, only able to sprint. Then you heal 15 HP, gain plus 5 base HP, but lose 5 stamina pool. Visually, your character looks fatter, playful flair. The catch. While you're nom-nomming, the killer might arrive. Use hot dog when you've created space, after a chase, or when you're in safe zone for a moment. It's a risk versus reward heel. Punch. Face to face, eye to eye. You wind up, approximately 0.75 seconds. Swing forward. If you hit the killer or an entity, they take 25 damage and are stunned for 3 seconds. You've disrupted the hunt. But if you miss, you suffer 1 second of end lag. You're heavily slowed for 1 second, and the killer smells blood. Punch is for the bold, for the moments when you can land it. When the killer is near, stuck, distracted. Don't attempt it in open space, or when you can't guarantee the hit. Revolver. You draw steel. Aim, 1 second windup. Fire a bullet that travels, hits something, wall, environment, or killer, then explodes with approximately 10 stud radius. 50 damage plus 2 second stun if the killer is inside. You then have 1 second end lag, but there's reload mechanics. After 1 shot, you must reload, approximately 3 seconds immobile, and wait for cooldown, approximately 15 seconds, before next shot. Also, you sacrifice 10 base stamina just to carry it. With the Caretaker synergy, landing the shot heals you. This ability is high risk, high potential. If your aim is sharp, you can turn the tables. But if you're running scared, forced to fire from bad angles or without cover, you'll spend valuable time exposed. Taunt. This is the boldest show of defiance. You square up, you taunt. A hitbox grows outward. If the killer touches it, you highlight them for every civilian, and you gain 2 seconds invincibility. The killer becomes target, visible to your team, pressured. But if you miss, you pay. 2 seconds of end lag, slower movement, and a loud alert sound to the killer that you tried. Use taunt when you're near the killer. Have indirect cover. Want to shift the map pressure or empower your team? Don't use it blind. If the killer is unpredictable or you're trapped, the miss will cost you dearly. It's spectacle and strategy rolled into one. Every skin. Avoider. Avoider completely flips Pursuer's design, giving him a white body, black head, and glowing red eyes and teeth, with even his shadows tinted white. It's the cheapest skin in the game at only 100 tokens. Unlike Pursuer, who's known for openly hating the other killers, Avoider actually has friends, though it still avoids them. Its chase theme mixes Kevin MacLeod's sneaky snitch with sounds from the You Are an Idiot virus, and instead of a harmonica, it plays a kazoo, giving the skin a much goofier vibe. Classic. Classic makes Pursuer pitch black with a floating red face, constantly twitching with stiff, old-style Roblox animations. It references Friendbro from Game with Killers, which was actually the predecessor to Die of Death. Friendbro was designed as a parody of Roblox ARGs, and Classic captures that eerie style. Instead of using a normal face decal, it originally used a surface guy that made the face float off the head. Its chase theme is a remix of A God's Anger by Mark Mathers, connecting it back to its original roots. Phantasm. Phantasm transforms Pursuer into the Rake from Survive Your Horrors. His body becomes smooth, plastic white, with large, pupilless eyes and a gaping mouth full of sharp teeth, resembling the classic Roblox zombie face. It has unique sounds for howling and stalking, giving it a creepier presence. Originally, it was the only Pursuer skin without its own chase theme, instead sharing music with the default skin, until the Harken update finally gave it its own. Zombie. Zombie gives Pursuer a grisly, half-dead appearance. His head and right arm are a pale green. His torso is dark and torn open to reveal bloody ribs, while the rest of his body is corroded metal. His face looks more cartoony with bulging white eyes, a tongue sticking out, and blood dripping from a head wound. His chase theme includes Ganon's infamous "You Must Die" line from Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, mixed with music from Zero Project's Gothic. Zombie 1. Zombie 1 is a variation of the zombie design, turning Pursuer into a green-headed, rusty-bodied creature holding a black knife. It features its own idle, walking, running, and stun animations, giving it more personality. Its render background is Pinewood Laundromat, and the skin itself is actually based on a free Roblox model, though which model exactly is still unknown. Zombie 2. Zombie 2 is another zombie variant, giving Pursuer a white head, green arms, black torso, and legs. It uses the classic commando face and wields a zombie staff for attacks. Unlike the others, his weapon is replaced with the iconic linked sword from Roblox's early days. This skin even comes with its own custom walking, swinging, and sound effects to stand apart. Stalker. The Stalker replaces Pursuer entirely with the monster from the Stalker, Reborn. It appears as a dark humanoid covered in scales with sharp features, glowing red eyes, and an aggressive expression. Everything about it is custom: animations, sound effects, and design, making it feel like a full crossover from another Roblox horror game. Mequat. Mequat is one of the strangest skins. He's a black Robloxian with a smooth texture, a linked sword impaled straight through his torso, and a yellow head with a shocked, simple face. His animations are custom, including a unique stun animation, and his chase theme is full of internet references like the Hungry Pumpkin, Wilhelm Scream, and even memes like Drop Noli. Canonically, Mequat is immortal, and the sword stuck in his chest can only be pulled out by him. He's loosely connected to Devesto, though the two are not related by family, and while he tolerates him, they aren't really friends either. Oddly enough, Mequat is British, enjoys tea, and even has a custom intro in the game. iQuat. iQuat is a fan-made variant of Mequat, created by Theonly White Sofa, and is based on a Paint 3D visualizer of his chase theme. It shares most of Mequat's lore and references, including the bizarre mix of internet samples in its music and the immortal sword and chest gimmick. Essentially, it's an alternate take on Mequat's iconic design. Maze Guy. Maze Guy is a skin that transforms Pursuer into a jump scare reference from the infamous Scary Maze game. His head becomes a big red cube with Regan McNeil's screaming face from The Exorcist plastered on it. His body is pitch black with glowing blue outlines, and instead of the normal sword, he wields a custom 8-bit blade with a blue edge and red handle. Even his howl is unique, leaning into the creepy Maze Game parody. Hardest Game. Hardest Game is a variant of Maze Guy, this time themed around the world's hardest game. While the design keeps its blocky look, the highlight here is its custom chase theme, a remix of Growing on Me from Newgrounds, the same track used in the original game. Claws Guy. Claws Guy transforms Pursuer into a rusted, faceless monster with huge claws on both hands. One set is black, the other red, and they're strong enough to slice through steel or cut down full trees. His animations are stiff and repeating, intentionally mimicking old Roblox styles. In lore, his claws grow endlessly, forcing him to constantly grind them down or break them when they get too heavy. Despite not having a face or ears, Claws Guy can still hear and scream. His body even feels like cold steel to the touch. Seesaws. Seesaws is a creepy robot-like skin. She has a rusty body with a lock symbol on her chest, chains wrapped around her legs, a missing left arm replaced with bolts, and a right arm fused with a chainsaw and saw blade. Another saw blade also sticks out of her back. She has custom animations and sound effects, and was confirmed by her concept artist Glebo to actually be female. Bling. Bling Pursuer is a flashy, money-themed version of the killer. He wears a Robux t-shirt, a green chain, a black and green cap, and even brass knuckles. His sword is emerald green with sparkling effects, and when he lands a hit, coins drop from the survivor. His howl aura is tinted green, and his stock sound is a clip of Mr. Krabs saying, "Am I really going to defile this grave for money?" Bling also comes with its own custom swing animations, making it feel very different to play compared to the normal Pursuer. Goodware. Goodware is the opposite of badware, designed like an antivirus to protect civilians from threats. Its color palette is swapped, with added glasses in its render. The intro quote changes to "Fantastic. We have been cured," and the riff text becomes, "Our phone has been cured." Its chase theme hides tons of references, starting with FNAF1's phone call, the FL Studio voice saying, "I peed myself," and even a harmonica melody referencing Winds of Fjords. Much like Pursuer's Avoider skin, Goodware is a cured version of the original virus. Spyware. Created by Theonly White Sofa, Spyware gives Badware a teal and purple color scheme, realistic ears, and buttons on its sides changed to arrows. Its intro quote is, "Oops, I heard you were looking for an antivirus?" While the riff text becomes, "Need an antivirus? Make sure to tell me." This skin acts as a cheeky, misleading version of an antivirus, hinting at how spyware hides under false promises. Loveware. Loveware, made by 52ACES, turns Badware into a pink, Valentine's-themed skin inspired by the ILOVEYOU computer worm. Her intro quote is, "Marvelous. Make sure to send me a letter," and her riff text says, "How amusing, nice letters." It's a lighthearted but ironic design, turning a deadly virus into something cute and affectionate. Devilware. Devilware, created by Pi, is the first community-made badware skin. It transforms badware into a fiery devil with horns, a red sinister face, and a burning skeleton image across its torso. His intro changes to, "Haha, you are in my possession," and his riff text to, "You will suffer for eternity." Buying this skin comes with a catch. You've sold your soul to him. Devilware mocks other killers, owns a three-headed hellhound named Betty, and even references other games like Brawl Stars. He's canonically dating Loveware, making them one of the strangest villain couples in the roster. Angelware. Suggested by Angus, Angelware is designed as Devilware's opposite. It gives badware angelic wings, golden trims, and a torso showing pearly gates. His intro says, "You will be safe with me," while the riff text reads, "You will be taken care of." Originally, his theme was Judgment by Pure Oranilla, but it was later replaced. Angelware represents purity and protection, standing in contrast to Devilware's fiery torment. Runicware. Runicware transforms badware into a magical, enchanted bookshelf. It has wooden limbs overgrown with plants, and instead of a normal head, it carries an open book decorated with flowers and objects. Its intro says, "Don't step into my house, because you can just tiptoe quiet as a mouse," while its riff text reads, "Hello, you're in danger. Good riddance to your behavior." Both are direct references to Get Out by Dagamis. Originally submitted under the name Runic Tale, Runicware is one of the more abstract and fantasy-themed skins. Cookieware. Cookieware is themed around those suspicious accept cookies pop-ups on websites. Instead of a computer screen, her head is an oven with a chef's hat and cookie on top. Her torso displays cookie consent buttons, and her PC model becomes a mixer with her AI assistant Doughbot nearby. Her intro quotes include, "Please accept cookies for a better playing experience," and "Accept all," while her riff says, "Ding, it's done." Despite her cute appearance, her cookies are rock solid, and her true face is less charming. Cookieware is motherly in personality, is canonically 50 years old, and even created Doughbot, her gullible son powered by dough. Arrowware. Frutiger Arrowware, shortened to Arrowware, gives badware a Frutiger Arrow aesthetic with bubble particles, and his PC becomes Bubble Girl. His intro line is, "The future is now. I always keep my promises." While his riff is, "Robloxians are a thing of the past." Arrowware is unique, controlled by two fishes symbolizing brain hemispheres. He's smarter than other badwares, can actually speak English, and earns $84,000 a year as a government agent. He's tied into a larger lore, with Bubble Girl being his daughter. Bubble Girl herself is highly intelligent, with a degree in Linux, and can transfer her soul into new bodies. Arrowware's chase theme even borrows from Build a Boat for Treasure, cementing his strange mix of lore, humor, and horror. Omegaware. Omegaware is a now-removed skin inspired by Omega Flowy from Undertale. His PCs were replaced with colored soul containers, and his intro and riff text are direct quotes from Flowy. The theme remixes Your Best Nightmare and Finale, and he was the first skin to feature a custom injured expression when below half health. Omegaware was the most expensive badware skin, but he's no longer on sale due to issues with his creator. However, players who bought him before the removal get to keep him, making him one of the rarest skins in the game. Wiperware. Wiperware gives badware a darker, more destructive appearance with red and gray tones, liquid canisters attached to his body, red horns, and even his square button tilted at an angle. His intro simply says erase, and his riff text reads, "Data-erased black wingding symbols pour out of his body as particles," tying him to a glitchy aesthetic. Canonically, Wiperware is the strongest badware peon after the original. His chase theme samples the breaking news segment from Breakin's story, adding to his apocalyptic vibe. Builder. Builder transforms Artful into a construction worker. He wears a black and orange hard hat, a worker apron, a tool belt, and even carries a trowel in one hand. His mask becomes a wooden plank, and his walls spawn with random colors every time. Builder is canon, referencing Artful's old job before becoming a killer. Even his description nods to Builder Battler from the Battle Bricks, where builders were used as disposable meat shields. Seaful. Seaful gives Artful a full pirate makeover. His wand becomes a cutlass. He wears pirate clothing with a hat and skull emblem, and even a bandana. His walls are turned into treasure chests covered in greenery and pipes, while his music box becomes a gramophone, taken from the Roblox gear Victrola. Originally, this skin's design was different, but it was later changed to better fit the pirate theme. Swapful. Swapful flips Artful's design with a red and blue color scheme and a sad face. His wand leaves a red and blue trail. His walls are colored in a gradient, and his music box becomes the body swap potion. When he kills someone, their body parts turn gray and faceless, turning them into eerie statues. This makes Swapful one of Artful's darker and more unsettling skins. Paintful. Paintful turns Artful into a rainbow-themed killer, with "Paint Yourself" written across his mask. His wand is replaced with a paintbrush, his walls are splattered in colors, and his music box becomes a paint can. The design references the paint blocks at the end of old Roblox obbies. His sound effects include Mario 64 painting sounds, Half-Life dismemberment noises, and cartoon splats. When he hits a survivor, their body parts get stained with colors, showing how injured they are without relying on blood. Paintful's theme has echoey vocals from Blue Dude and was originally meant for Devesto. Hashtag So Retro. #, So Retro redesigns. Artful to parody fake old Roblox nostalgia. His suit is simplified into decals. His hat becomes a fedora, and his face is a blocky, angry mask. All his animations are made clunky and slow, mimicking early Roblox animation styles. The original icon even mocked players who claimed to miss old Roblox, showing backgrounds of modern games like Piggy and Pet Simulator X. Originally called Very Retro, this skin lost its unique animations over time, leading many players to see it as one of the weakest Artful skins. Innovationful. Innovationful is a variant of hashtag So Retro, referencing the Roblox game Grow a Garden. It gives Artful a blocky stud-textured design, with walls that resemble bamboo fences from the game. His copyright box matches his own body, plastered with stud textures. It's a parody of how Grow a Garden notoriously used misaligned studs everywhere, and even references its infamous RDC 25 award wins. Tixful. Tixful reimagines Artful as a TIX-inspired Onceler-style character. His wand becomes the sword of TIX, his walls are piles of tickets, and his copyright turns into the bag of TIX. This skin became the first suggestion ever to be accepted just 10 minutes after being posted. Its description even references the Onceler's song from the Lorax. Tixful is also canonically gay, making him one of the only Artful skins with confirmed LGBTQ+ lore. Evil Guy. Evil Guy is a free model skin taken directly from the Roblox toolbox. It gives Artful a faceless beige body, black top hat, cape, stick, and plain clothes. His walls become mansion fences, while his music box is a dark green Robux sign. The skin's laugh sound comes from Plants vs. Zombies, though it was originally supposed to be the Thriller laugh. Evil Guy is one of the more infamous free model-inspired designs. Kind Gal. Kind Gal is a bright counterpart to Evil Guy. Her shirt is white, her cape and pants are yellow, and her top hat has a thorn with roses across the band. Her walls are replaced with flowered fences, and her music box becomes a glowing yellow TIX sign. Her puppet is a pastel-colored clown. Originally suggested as Good Guy, the name was later changed to Kind Gal, and she uses she/her pronouns. Nolaful. Nolaful is part of the Forsaken X Die of Death collab, turning Artful into a version of the classic Roblox myth Noli. He wears a crown on a top hat, with a purple and black color scheme. Nolaful has a custom intro, chase theme, and even a Last Man Standing remix. His music boxes reference ASPX from Noli's games, and his themes are directly tied to Forsaken's soundtrack, even parodying the term retro slop, used to mock fake retro Roblox projects. Nolaful stands as one of the biggest collab skins in the game's history. Cementful. Cementful is a variant referencing an in-joke from the Forsaken community about Noli's old Artful design looking dipped in cement. It shows Artful with half his body submerged in concrete. Despite the simple look, Cementful is tied to the same Forsaken crossover lore as Nolaful, carrying the same references to ASPX, Retro Slop, and the custom Last Man Standing music. Devesto. Devesto is one of the most iconic Artful skins. He has a bald yellow head with an evil face, a checkered red and black torso, tan pants, and a brick wall as his implement. His music box is swapped for a monster mash potion. Unlike most skins, Devesto has a full custom intro, theme, animations, and even voice lines, directly taken from the Postal games, voiced by Rick Hunter. Devesto is canon as his own entity, standing tall at 7 feet 6 inches with superhuman speed and strength. He hates hugs, dislikes Claws Guy, but tolerates Mequat as a co-worker. In Forsaken, Devesto even appears as a Noli skin. He's one of the most fleshed-out killers in the game's lore. Orchestraful. Orchestraful gives Artful a dramatic musical twist. He wears a trench coat and summons floating hands holding instruments like a viola, a wand, and a music box. His walls turn black and are covered in white roses, while his music boxes glow with musical notes. Orchestraful is currently the only skin to feature multiple swing animations, giving him a unique and theatrical playstyle compared to other skins. Sonorous. Sonorous is Harkon's inverted palette skin and flips the lore too. He needs noise to survive, killing civilians just to hear them scream, so silence won't charge him at all. Think of his meter as ecstasy, not rage. Full meter equals pleasure-fueled frenzy. His spear briefly used to turn plain white when thrown, but that was fixed in the I'm afraid of small updates patch. The name Sonorous literally means deep, ringing sound, and his enraged chase drops a Leroy Jenkins meme cue. Conceptual. Conceptual reimagines Harkon as pure abstract art, stacked shapes, bold colors, form over function. It's a direct nod to abstraction. The description outright confirms it. The result looks like a living gallery piece that moves, attacks, and emotes with geometric flair. Hamkin. Hamkin is Harkon as a school lunch sandwich, bread limbs layered with ham, salami, cheese, and tomatoes, a lunch bag head with a sandwich inside, tomato slice ears. Enraged, one eye turns into a dripping egg yolk and her spear becomes a gold fork. Both chase themes are stuffed with eating SFX, cartoon bites, Roblox yummy, etc., and her transition even overlaps the enraged theme. The V2 render shows an open eye without the torn bag, and the closed eye still appears under the open one. Audi swaps Harkon to a clean white and orange scheme and replaces her eye with an audio icon. The whole look references how Roblox audio appears in platform. She looks like sound. Ina skin turns Harkon into the web series character ENA. Enraged form mirrors the drunk version. Left yellow side turns white, right blue side goes pitch black. The description quotes Power of Potluck, and her theme weaves in a god race motif from Temptation Stairway. Known bug, enraged Ina gains a mysterious second nose. Raken. Raken gives Harkon a gray humanoid suit, white collar, red tie, black watch, black pants, with pins on the head. Enraged, their skin turns red, smoke vents from the head, and a ring of fire forms overhead. The current render references the 2D icon for Noob Attack, Rag Table Revenge, and, uniquely, Raken doesn't have a custom chase theme. Discerna. Discerna converts Harkon into a living battery/accumulator, stacked green blocks with black markings and a charger on the back. Their palette gradually shifts green to red as the noise meter fills, and the facial plates rise when enraged. The description cheekily riffs on TF2 Medic's Ubercharge line. Fully juiced, Discerna discharges fury. Mr. Screwy. Mr. Screwy assembles Harkon from kids' toys, alphabet blocks, cards, plushies, scribbles, with a spinning back screw. The face is 4 puzzle pieces with a central googly eye. A Miss Princess doll naps on his shoulder until noise wakes her during enrage. He gets custom Immolate SFX, spawns retro Roblox plushies as cosmetic clutter on hit, and his chase nods Battle Cats, World Invasion. He's also the most expensive skin in the game. Ruins. Ruins turns Harkon into an overgrown ancient statue that becomes a weathered angel when enraged, bits of stone still clinging on. It's one of only 2 Harkon skins with a render that shows both calm and enraged forms. The other is Hamkin. Ancient. Ancient is the Mastery variant. Unlock Mastery first. Harkon takes on an Egyptian priest aesthetic. Light brown skin, white robes, a glowing eye of Horus, and a scarab backdrop with hieroglyphs. Enraged, a golden halo appears. The eye glows bright yellow, and hieroglyphs spread across her wings. Cesis. Cesis is a collab badge skin from the Battle Bricks. Chapter 4 Badge Utopia. Harkin becomes Cesis, complete with custom intro, SFX, and a chase by Robot Rob 10. Agitation glows light blue, nodding to Phase 3's shockwave. Calm state mirrors Cesis's Phase 3 going nuts, no hammer use, while enraged represents the secret ultra-pissed phase. The OST video even jokes about Cesis getting PTSD from seeing a wall, a wink to how ultra-pissed triggers in TBB. It's DODX TBB's second collab, after Jet Droid. Live Droid. Live Droid is the inverted version of Kill Droid, with a cyan palette and a sad face that shifts to neutral when flying and smirking when firing. His bots are pink with sad faces, and instead of rockets, he fires balloons that explode into confetti. Like a Voider for Pursuer, Live Droid is a gentler counterpart, meant to preserve instead of destroy. Egg Droid. Egg Droid is an Easter-themed Kill Droid skin. His head becomes a decorated egg with bunny ears, and his body parts are colored pink and green. His rocket launchers transform into the Egg-Veloper Cannon 9002, firing pastel eggs instead of rockets. Even his deploy model is a bunny-eared egg. The design makes him look almost like a robotic Easter bunny. Pixel Droid. Pixel Droid reimagines Kill Droid in a retro, blocky style inspired by Pixel Gun 3D. His animations are the old Roblox classic style. His rockets are pixelated with black outlines, and his description references the iconic pool party map from Pixel Gun. Turkey Droid. Turkey Droid, still a work-in-progress skin, transforms Kill Droid into a turkey. Instead of rockets, he fires roasted chicken legs that explode on impact, giving this one a silly holiday twist. Futuristic. Futuristic equips Kill Droid with sleek blue armor and an evil face, giving him a sci-fi vibe. His rockets glow blue, and his look is compared to the LEGO Galaxy Explorer rocket ship. Like Pixel Droid, he uses classic animations. T-Droid. T-Droid turns Kill Droid into a tribute to Roblox admin Clockwork, based on his fan depictions. His head is a teapot wearing Clockwork's glasses and headphones, and his rockets are swapped with teapots. The jetpack carries a Roblox HQ logo, and his body is painted red, white, and blue. All ability sounds are replaced with classic Roblox audio like glassbreak.wav and swordlunge.wav. Even his chase theme title is a nod to a flamingo meme. My T is quaking, I'm shaking. Jet Droid. Jet Droid is a crossover with the Battle Bricks, turning Kill Droid into the boss Jet Rock. He has a custom intro where he crashes into Rocket Arena, and his killbots match those from the original game. His sounds are taken from Wario's voice in Mario Kart 64 and Mario Party, and his chase theme mixes Touhou's Eastern Story motif with Jet Rock's own arena of explosions. This is one of Kill Droid's most elaborate skins, made to feel like a real boss fight. Awesome Droid. Awesome Droid gives Kill Droid the epic face with headphones, a white suit, and waffle launchers instead of rockets. His body turns bright yellow, and his flight animation is a custom T-pose while wobbling his head side to side. Fun fact, this skin originally didn't even have an icon, making it look like a hidden joke skin. MLG Droid. MLG Droid is a full-on 2010s internet meme skin. Kill Droid wears a stickered NYC cap, pixel sunglasses, and a torso covered with Mountain Dew. His rocket launchers become sniper rifles, and he shoots dancing bananas instead of rockets. His bots glow green with Illuminati textures. In flight, he spins like aimbot hackers with a sniper aimed skyward, glowing like a super saiyan. He even plays a distorted MLG-style version of the FNAF 6 AM chime when he's last man standing. Death Star. Death Star is Kill Droid's mastery skin and the first community skin to be accepted. He's redesigned with full sci-fi theming, an atom-shaped head, energy cannons, gravity boots, laser blades, and a jetpack. His killbot becomes a glowing atom with satellites and boosters. Death Star replaced Kill Droid's old mastery skin Terminator during the Harkin update. While not directly named after it, his design also gives a nod to the Star Wars Death Star fitting his cosmic look. Paintwear. Paintwear is an upcoming skin for Badwear. It is inspired by PAIN Tear from Pressure. Paintwear has MS Paint open on its screen with buttons drawn in paint. It wears a brown beret on top of its screen and has a rainbow palette at the bottom. On its torso, Paintware wears an apron with the MS Paint 2009 logo stained with paint. On the back are pink and blue pipes. Paintware uses they, he, it pronouns and is agender. It gets mad at anyone who is better at drawing than it. It has the ability to finish an artwork in just a few seconds, but it only knows how to use MS Paint and no other art software. Adware. Adware is an upcoming skin for Badware. Adware is fully made out of windows displaying scam and spam advertisements. It has custom blue coils on its arms and legs, and a coil for a neck. Its intro text quote is changed to, "Congratulations, you've won." Adware works for cookieware, is a hologram, and speaks only in advertisements. It is directly based on Adware. Ransomware. Ransomware is an upcoming skin for Badware. It is fully red with shades and has a custom head frame with smooth corners. On the front of its torso is a file wrapped in chains with a lock in the center. Its PC turns into a flying monitor with cables connected to the chained file. Its intro text quote is, "OOPS, your files have been encrypted." Ransomware is based on the WannaCry virus. It is the second adopted child of Loveware and Devilware. Echoware. Echoware is an upcoming skin for Badware. It is based on the song Echo by Crusher P. This skin transforms Badware into a character inspired by the song. Hello, Badware. Hello, Badware is an upcoming skin for Badware. It restyles Badware as a character from Hello, John Doe. Both Badware and its computers constantly look toward the player's camera, no matter where it is positioned. The skin is based on the Hello, John Doe FNF mod, which is centered around Roblox creepypastas and myths. Doomware. Doomware is an upcoming skin for Badware. It transforms Badware into a mecha controlled by a bacon-haired character. It gains laser guns on its arms and antennas on its computer screen. It also wears a Void Star shirt, referencing Terminator. The computer screen is replaced with a replica of the controller's setup. Its intro text is changed to, "Killer's username. We need to talk." This is the first skin where the intro changes depending on the player's username. Muffinbot. Muffinbot is an inverted version of Cookieware, replacing Doughbot while Cookieware appears as the PC. At 20, Muffinbot is a cashier who plays violin and writes romance novels. Its daughter, Cookiegirl, is a nerdy and sweet 16-year-old monitor on the register. Morph. Morph is an upcoming skin that reimagines Pursuer as a chaotic fusion of old-school morphs from the golden era of 2010 to 2012 roleplay games. Its body constantly shifts and glitches, like dozens of nostalgic avatars fighting for control inside one unstable shell. When Morph executes a survivor, their limbs twist and reshape into random morph parts, a haunting tribute to the early days of Roblox's morph madness. It's not just a skin. It's a time capsule of every forgotten character you ever became. Primal, also known by its ancient name Zagaris, transforms Pursuer into a feral, prehistoric beast. Its jaw is lined with saber-tooth fangs, its body covered in deep claw marks and layers of matted fur. The signature sword is replaced with a jagged bone carved from the remains of its victims. Primal's design tells a story of evolution reversed, when the hunter sheds all trace of humanity. A redesign of Zagaris is currently in development, promising an even wilder rebirth. Minecraft. Suggested by Mr. Brain Matter Real, this skin turns Pursuer into a perfect cube-for-cube replica of itself in the world of Minecraft. Everything, from its sword to its armor, becomes pixelated and blocky, complete with stiff, low frame rate movements. Its price is exactly equal to the number of blocks currently in Minecraft, a clever in-joke for players who understand the game's massive scale. Retro, cursed, and oddly charming. PS1. Created by oiltrolge_Gaiman, PS1 Pursuer strips away all smooth textures, turning Pursuer into a low-poly polygonal nightmare straight out of the late 90s. The environment feels warped, the sound effects crushed into bit-crushed static. Even its sword emits that eerie, low-quality hum familiar to the PlayStation 1 era. It's nostalgia twisted into something uncanny. Nobody transforms Pursuer into a disturbingly thin, pale creature with a spiked spine and long green claws. Its weapon, once a sword, is now a crude wooden stake, a relic of primal survival. Landing a cleave attack drives the stake deep into the victim's torso before it disappears as the cooldown resets. Inspired by the Rake, the classic creepypasta monster, nobody captures the same eerie feeling of being watched while you sleep. Originally suggested as a killer, it became one of the few skins to be both considered and accepted, a rare feat in Pursuer's history. Pursued. Pursued is a joke or what-if skin that depicts Pursuer after being hunted itself. Its body transforms into a dark, twisted version of the cleave sword, with its own head embedded in the blade, dripping with blood from both ends. The rest of its form is warped into a blade-like shape, as if it became the very weapon it once wielded. Known within the community as Cleave Sewer, this skin is often referred to as the most cursed Pursuer design ever conceived. Corrosive. Corrosive is an upcoming addition to the radioactive series, transforming Pursuer into a monstrous nuclear-infused abomination. It wears a tattered yellow hood, with a radioactive hazard sign carved into its face and eyes crudely scratched out. Its upper torso and shoulders ooze with glowing green waste, while pipes run from a leaking barrel fused into its back, pumping radioactive sludge directly into its veins. Once a normal hunter, Corrosive fell into a vat of nuclear waste during a pursuit at a power plant, mutating beyond recognition. Now they roam the world in search of fresh meat and uranium. Corrosive is confirmed to be transmasc and uses any/all pronouns. Doomware. Doomware is an upcoming skin for Badware that transforms him into a futuristic mecha, seemingly piloted by a mischievous bacon-haired user. Twin laser cannons are mounted to his arms, and antennas extend from his monitor head, which now displays the setup of the controller's interface. His outfit includes a Void Star shirt, a clever nod to Terminator and Death Star. This makes Doomware the first skin in the series to react to the player's identity. The skin's lore ties to the fall of Die of Death, referencing its takedown date on May 7, 2025, depending on time zone. It's also believed to parody script kiddies, chaotic coders who manipulate games without truly understanding them. Its theme, Grunkalous, takes inspiration from a viral comment about Artful's Swapful soundtrack. Die of Death composers make the best song you've ever heard in your life, only to call it Grunkalous. Doomware is both a love letter and a satire of digital chaos, a mechanical relic of internet culture gone rogue. Hello, Badware is an upcoming crossover skin that turns Badware into a hauntingly cheerful character inspired by the Hello John Doe mod, a Friday night funkin' creation rooted in Roblox myths and creepypastas. In this version, both Badware and his monitors will constantly track the player's gaze no matter where the camera moves, mimicking the unsettling stare of John Doe himself. It's playful, eerie, and perfectly captures that uncanny mixture of nostalgia and horror unique to early Roblox legends. Echoware. Echoware is an upcoming skin based on the song Echo by Crusher P, transforming Badware into a digital embodiment of the song's themes: identity, noise, and emotional distortion. This version replaces Badware's cold technological presence with something more melancholic and musical. His design visually echoes the character from the song, blending rhythm and malfunction into one sentient glitch. Thinkware. Thinkware is a parody skin that converts Badware into Baldi's You Can Think Pad trademark, YCTP. His face screen now resembles the cheerful pad from Baldi's Basics, and his intro quote changes to, "Oh jeepers, you found me." The line references Null, the hidden antagonist of Baldi's Basics Classic Remastered, making Thinkware both a nostalgic throwback and a tongue-in-cheek homage to the 2010s edutainment horror. Ransomware. Ransomware is a menacing, crimson-red redesign of Badware based on the infamous WannaCry virus. His frame is sleeker, with rounded corners and smooth surfaces. On his torso, a chained file icon is locked tightly in the center, surrounded by keys, timers, and broken cables. The PC becomes a floating monitor connected to the file by dangling wires, pulsing with digital energy. The time shown on his body, 2:30, may reference the countdown associated with ransomware attacks. Within the lore, ransomware is the second adopted child of Loveware and Devilware, part of the malware family tree that defines Badware's strange digital universe. Adware. Adware is a chaotic holographic skin made entirely of pop-up windows and flashing scam advertisements. Its arms and legs are wrapped with bright blue energy coils, while its head constantly flickers with banner ads and fake prize notifications. Its intro text reads, "Congratulations, you've won." Adware literally speaks in spam messages and fake offers. It's employed by Cookieware, spreading intrusive ads across the digital realm. Visually, Adware is transparent and glitchy, resembling a living hologram of the internet's most annoying creations, a perfect personification of malware that won't stop talking. Paintware. Paintwear is a colorful, chaotic, artist-themed skin inspired by P.A.I.Entier from the Roblox game Pressure. Its monitor displays an MS Paint window, complete with crudely drawn UI buttons. A brown beret rests on top of its screen, and a rainbow paint palette decorates its torso. The apron it wears is splattered with virtual paint and marked with the MS Paint 2009 logo. Paintwear refuses to use anything but MS Paint, proudly embracing its simplicity and nostalgia. Muffinbot. Muffinbot is a dark, inverted variant of Cookieware's companion Doughbot. In this version, roles are reversed. Cookieware now acts as the PC while Doughbot becomes the mechanical assistant, and the lower cloth is swapped for a green chef's apron. Muffinbot feels like a mirrored reality, the same sweet aesthetic twisted into something more mechanical, distant, and eerily polite. Necromancer. Necromancer is an upcoming community-created skin for Artful, transforming him into a powerful master of the undead. Cloaked in a tattered purple wizard robe and wide-brimmed hat, Artful now carries a staff pulsing with necrotic energy, replacing his usual wand. A worn satchel of skulls hangs behind him, trophies or fuel for his dark arts. His skin turns sickly green, signifying his own zombified rebirth. Both his wall and music box are completely overhauled. The wall becomes a mass of clawing zombies, while the music box takes the form of a glass jar containing a living, whispering zombie head. Necromancer was the first community skin for Artful ever to be officially accepted. A fan-made theme titled Necromancer UST by Mango Churros serves as its unofficial soundtrack. MS is an upcoming skin that reimagines Artful as a living MS Paint drawing. His entire body, along with his wall and music box, is rendered in a crude, pixelated 2D art style, but still exists in a 3D space, creating a bizarre paper diorama effect. Everything about MS feels intentionally simple yet surreal, like a doodle come to life. Within the lore, MS and Sketchful are best friends, symbolizing the bond between digital and traditional creativity. Travelful. Travelful is a potential upcoming skin that transforms Artful into an adventurous traveler, carrying a large backpack and wooden walking stick. His design captures the spirit of exploration. Dusty boots, worn clothes, and maps hanging from his pack. A random variant appears, each themed around different maps and locations, referencing all corners of the Artful universe. Travelful's design celebrates curiosity, creativity, and the joy of endless discovery. Bob. Bob is an upcoming skin for Artful, directly referencing Bob Museum demo, created by Saucefy10. The skin was suggested by LubyGreena_PC and serves as a tribute to Saucefy's earlier creations. Simple, strange, and packed with personality. Bob's design is intentionally plain, a nod to minimalist humor and early Roblox game art. Sketchful. Sketchful is an upcoming skin that transforms Artful into a hand-drawn pencil sketch brought to life. His entire form appears as graphite lines on paper, and a faint pencil trail follows his movements. His wall becomes a cardboard display covered in taped sheets of paper, while his copyright ability manifests as flying sketches that carry drawings of themselves. Created by Finchi, Sketchful represents the purest form of creation, art born straight from imagination before the digital polish sets in. Actful. Actful reimagines Artful as a theatrical performer dressed for a Renaissance stage. He wears a feathered Renaissance scribe hat, a flowing red jacket with white sleeves, beige pants, and polished black shoes. His wand is replaced with a small skull, a classic actor's prop. Music box turns into a harp that plays soft medieval melodies. Actful's puppets are randomized, appearing as either a dragon, knight, or princess. Legacy. Legacy is a tribute skin built from the legacy of Saucefy's older games, designed to celebrate the past creations that shaped Artful's world. The skin can randomly appear as a different character either on each kill or at the start of each round. Final mechanic to be chosen upon release. In lore, Ignis from Brick Undeads is the same character as Ignis Battler from the Battle Bricks, differing only in his weapon, a fire sword instead of a staff. Legacy is nostalgia made playable, a living timeline of Saucefy's creative history. Directful. Directful turns Artful into a film director immersed in his own cinematic universe. He wears a beige checkered cap, sunglasses, a scarf, and a film strip patterned mask. A knitted vest and white undershirt complete his look, paired with black pants and a brown belt adorned with a fake head and loudspeaker. His walls now recreate iconic movie scenes from his films, Harkin as an alien confronting a civilian, Pursuer reimagined as a city-destroying kaiju, Killdroid acting as a protective dinosaur parent, Artful himself performing as a magician. The music box becomes a vintage camera with a tiny badware model inside, while his puppet appears as a loyal bodyguard or security agent. Directful is the filmmaker version of Artful, creative, eccentric, and forever behind the lens. Vengeful gives Artful a spectral, haunted redesign. His wall manifests as a swarm of pale ghosts blocking the path, and his copyright ability takes the form of an ethereal ghost egg, inspired by the 2012 Roblox Easter egg hunt. Vengeful channels the theme of lost souls and unfinished stories, a tragic echo of creativity that refuses to fade. Corland transforms Harkin into a pale, human-like version of himself. In his enraged state, his skin burns crimson and half of his head is torn away, revealing a brutal inner form. His usual spear is replaced with a sharpened wooden stake topped with a severed head-like ornament. Corland will feature unique animations currently in development, adding fluid, unsettling movement to his attacks and enraged form. Visually, the skin captures the essence of madness and human corruption. What happens when control over rage slips away? Frostbiten. Created by At That Chronicle, Frostbiten freezes Harkin's design into a chilling form of elemental beauty. Her body becomes translucent and icy, her eye reshaped into a crystalline snowflake. When enraged, Frostbiten's head violently shatters, and her body glows red from within. Dream BBQ Ina. Suggested by Samurai Noob XD, this variant transforms the Ina skin into a recognizable form from the surreal indie game ENA, Dream BBQ. It's a vibrant, dreamlike reimagining that leans into the abstract art style of the game, bridging the chaotic imagination of Die of Death with the bizarre charm of ENA's universe. Brewhead transforms Killdroid into a humanoid mascot for Witch's Brew. If he kills a survivor, the victim's head inflates into a giant, color-shifting bubble, a direct callback to the original Witch's Brew effect. This skin is a playful reference to the classic Roblox game Survive the Brewheads, chaotic, colorful, and weirdly festive. Gachadroid. Created by a Chiprit 103. Gachadroid is one of the most elaborate Killdroid skins ever made. She replaces Killdroid's body with a gumball machine, her launchers with confetti cannons, and her killbots with Guppy Boy, her eccentric robotic son. Her personality and voice are inspired by Iggy's from Persona 3, though she has no official link. She's Canadian, loves hip-hop from the 90s, and once released a failed rap album titled Gummy Baller. Her intro line was formerly "flashing back, keeping promises," before being reworked. According to lore, Gachadroid makes $79,000 a year eliminating civilians, and both she and Arrowware secretly work for the same government. Her killbots, Guppy Boys, are Swedish fish fused with radios, capable of splitting consciousness through antenna-linked frequencies. She's quirky, non-canon, and self-aware, a mechanical parody of influencer culture in a robot's body. A dystopian variant based on the Guppy Boy AU may appear in future updates. Symbiotic. Created by Wanwood Blue Steel, Symbiotic turns Killdroid into a living, plant-like Dracobloxer searching for pollen and life essence. Vines and leaves weave through its mechanical frame, and its rockets resemble seed pods that burst into spores upon impact. It's half machine, half nature, a living contradiction that blurs the line between technology and the wild. Mechadroid transforms Killdroid into a towering robot with a noob pilot visible inside its head. Its rockets are replaced by random noob attack hats, each shot launching a different one, and its deployability spawns a Bagonoob's companion to assist in combat. The design draws directly from the Mechabloxer package, turning nostalgia into artillery. Amadroid is a tongue-in-cheek skin that converts Killdroid into a walking stack of cardboard boxes and shipping packages, a direct parody of the Amazon delivery empire. Its killbot becomes a box strapped with C4, labeled with fragile stickers and glowing logos. Every move looks clumsy yet deliberate, capturing the absurdity of weaponized consumerism. Terminator turns Killdroid into a more detailed and enhanced version of its original Mastery skin. The shockwave effect from the original Mastery design is now relocated to the antenna, where it emits powerful pulses of energy. The killbots have also been completely remodeled, featuring a sharper, more advanced design that perfectly complements Terminator's upgraded form. Asteroid. Asteroid transforms Killdroid into an astronaut. Astrodroid's head becomes a representation of Earth with a face, while the Killbot takes the form of the moon with an American flag planted on it. Asteroid is non-binary, though her pronouns are still preferred. She's an android created in Japan for NASA to collect lunar materials for research, but she gained consciousness after a malfunction occurred mid-mission. Believing herself to be the planet Earth after seeing her reflection in a mirror, Asteroid began attacking civilians she mistook for invading aliens. Disaster Droid. Disaster Droid turns Killdroid into a weaponized version of the weather machine from natural disaster survival. Its rockets are replaced with flaming meteors, and the deploys, Killbots, randomly become volcanoes, tornadoes, or storm clouds, each unleashing environmental destruction. When activating its upcoming detonate ability, a special atmospheric effect plays, enveloping the map in catastrophic energy. It's chaos, weathered and rebuilt in steel. Night Droid. Night Droid reimagines Killdroid as a medieval warrior. The rocket launchers are replaced with crossbows. The jetpack becomes a potion-fueled propulsion system, and the armor is decorated with royal insignia. This skin features entirely custom animations, including unique idle, walk, run, melee, flight, deploy, and stun sequences, giving it a lifelike cinematic movement style. Night Droid stands as a guardian of chivalry amid the apocalypse, elegant, noble, and deadly. Nuke Droid. Part of the Radioactive series, Nuke Droid was announced via Imperfect's Discord server. In lore, it represents the government's desperate attempt to stop the original Killdroid after it went rogue by creating another one. That plan backfired horribly. Nuke Droid turned on its creators, seeking only chaos and nuclear annihilation. Its primary target, the original Killdroid itself. Fueled by vengeance and atomic power, it's a weapon built to end weapons, and too dangerous to exist. Collab Droid. Collab Droid is inspired by Roblox Studios' Collab Orbs, symbolizing teamwork and creation. His killbots take the form of multicolored Collab Orbs, representing the power of community. Collab Droid embodies the creative side of Killdroid, a nod to collaboration, coding, and the chaotic joy of development itself. Bug Droid. Originally envisioned as a skin inspired by internet cults and Beelzebub, Bug Droid has gone through major conceptual changes, especially after the complications tied to spawnism. Despite being just a concept for now, Bug Droid has already earned a mysterious place in the digital mythos, mentioned in both Loveware and Devilware trivia as their adopted child. This eerie creation represents the strange offspring of two corrupted programs. Every map. Grandma's backyard. A cloudy, gray evening stretches across the fields. The air is still, heavy, the kind of silence that feels like it's waiting for something to happen. You spawn among tall grass and splintered logs, near a shadowy cave scribbled with strange messages and symbols that don't quite make sense. Inside, a pale skeleton rests in eternal stillness, a warning, or a relic of whoever wandered here last. This cave sits right next to the survivor spawn, surrounded by broken fences and tangled barbed wire that force you to zigzag just to move forward. Across the uneven landscape stands a decaying white church, the killer's territory. Its steeple leans, the windows are boarded, and behind the pulpit reads a message scrawled in red. God abandoned humanity. The pews are broken. The floor creaks, and yet it feels like something still lingers here. Behind the church lies a graveyard fenced with black iron, a perfect trap. Drop down into it and you'll find graves, bushes, and a massive graffiti tag of the old Roblox logo. There are only 2 exits, and both are narrow. Once you enter, you've already chosen your fate. The cliffs around the map make movement unpredictable. You can drop off them to escape a killer, but you can't climb back up. Each fall is a risk, every path a gamble. Temple. Massive stone walls tower above still water. The temple feels ancient, haunted even, with its flickering torches and echoing corridors. For the first 30 seconds, everything is calm. Then, the flames extinguish, plunging the area into silence. A moment later, a deep, distorted voice rumbles through the temple. You must die. The Dracobolder awakens, rolling through the map with unstoppable force. Anything in its way is crushed instantly, and the bridges that once crossed the water are obliterated. When it finally stops, the fire pillars reignite, casting red light across a battlefield that's completely changed. The lore here runs deep. This is King Tyranter's sacred resting place. Around the temple, you'll see doorways leading to his tomb, vault, and a miswritten library, all remnants of a kingdom lost to time. Even the vault's been looted by Kraken's bounty, leaving behind a curse that now consumes everyone who dares enter. Baseplate. It starts simple, a modern, open arena under bright daylight. Flat, quiet, easy to read. You think, this'll be easy, but after 90 seconds, the world starts to collapse. The dam at the edge bursts, and water floods the map. The rising flood lifts a metallic bridge, but crossing it slows you down to a crawl, and touching the water deals 2 damage every quarter second. The more you panic, the faster it eats away at you. And that's when the glitches start. Distorted dummies begin floating into the sky like broken balloons. A strange rotating creature known as the Thing hovers in the distance. And all across the sky, glowing developer orbs appear, the ghosts of Roblox Studio itself. The world feels alive, but not in the way you want. Baseplate is a map that starts normal and ends as a broken simulation fighting back. The HQ. Once the heart of the Roblox world, now a twisted monument to corporate decay. The interior of the HQ is filled with cubicles, scattered monitors, and cracked windows. A frozen presentation sits mid-slide on a stage that hasn't been touched in years. The second floor has collapsed, and the only signs of life are the flickering lights overhead. But it's the basement that tells the real story. This is where the killers spawn, surrounded by shattered computers, bloody keyboards, and 2 lifeless Robloxians slumped against the wall. In the corner, a cyan block-like creature watches from a vent, unmoving, almost sentient. Glass panels throughout the HQ can shatter under any ability that deals damage. The HQ once built dreams. Now it buries them beneath broken glass and silence. Tundra Trench. Frozen wind cuts through the snow as your footsteps echo through a world that feels dead. The air is cold, the sky gray, and your footprints, the only thing that reminds you you're still alive, stay pressed in the snow, visible only to you. The map seems small. A single bridge, a cave entrance, and a lonely hill, but it hides more than it shows. The bridge's glass can break, forcing you to adapt mid-chase. Snowballs sit scattered around, some carved with strange, smiling faces, a possible nod to other games, or something darker. In Tundra Trench, the landscape isn't your friend, it's your cage. Teapot Paradise. At first, it feels cheerful. Bright sunlight, soft music, a giant teapot sitting peacefully in the center. But this paradise doesn't last. Midway through the round, the skies turn gray. The music distorts. The big teapot lifts off and slowly moves toward the X-Bridge. Anyone standing there when it lands takes 25 damage and gets thrown aside. The rain starts falling, drones fly overhead, and lightning flashes across the floating islands. The once colorful landscape turns dark and electric. You can even predict the storm if you watch closely. When the Teapot Titan passes the flying island, you have seconds before chaos begins. The entire atmosphere flips from calm to cataclysm in moments. Glass houses. Glass, light, and nostalgia collide in this crossover between Die of Death and Forsaken. 2 giant mountains overlook a valley of shimmering glass domes, every wall and window fully destructible. It's beautiful, until the first one shatters. Every attack, even from support abilities like Taunt or Caretaker, can break glass, altering the layout in real time. The map feels alive, evolving with every fight. At the center is the Retro Beast, a glowing idol straight out of Roblox's past. Feed it 4 hidden retro characters scattered across the map to earn the Nostalgia Specialist badge. Each one represents a piece of the old Roblox era.